Hello, everyone, and welcome back, or maybe welcome to the first time for Unconventional GMs, the channel where we play actual plays, role-playing games with vim, vigor, pace in about 2 hours or less. Today, we're going to be playing Hell on Earth, which is a Savage Worlds game, which comes from the same stable as Deadlands, whereas that's Weird West Cowboys. This is slightly into the future where the Ghost Rock bombs have dropped. It's post-apocalyptic. Think Mad Max and Furiosa, but if you can throw in some demons and ghosts as well, things like that. I'm Gaz. I'm one half of this, also one half of What Would the Smart Party Do, the UK's premier RPG podcast, and I'll be guiding you through this adventure today. But it's not just me. I've got a whole host of expert players to join me as well. And why not introduce those players and get them to introduce their characters so you know who's going to be going on this adventure today. Guy, would you like to start us off, please?
I would indeed. I'm Guy. I'm the other half of this, and I also blog at Burn After Running, which is a one-shot focused RPG blog. Today, I am playing Brother Julius, a doomsayer. Imagine, to look at him, this might be an obscure reference, but Derek Jacobi as Cadfael in the old BBC TV series, an old medieval monk, except in the future with darker robes and glowing green eyes that indicate he is a mutant, part of humanity's next evolution. Many of his fellow doomsayers believe that norms, non-mutants, should be exterminated for their own good. Brother Julius isn't like that. He worships in a broad church and believes that norms should merely be pitied and helped along to the brave new future that mutants provide to them, shepherded. So he's got a gang of people together that he's helping to shepherd into the bright new future that will no doubt emerge out of this blasted atomic wasteland that is really dangerous for normal humans. He's sort of all right with it because he can harness atomic energy, but he's really helpful he's all about, you know, bringing people together, preaching the good word of the doomsayers to people and making sure that people realize mutants aren't to be feared. We're just like you or I, except better.
Good. I'm glad there's no allegories with today's politics or anything like that in there. And
Absolutely
it's
not. No.
We got this fantasy game on at that time of recording. It's UK elections, so I'll let viewers make their own minds up. Thanks very much. And also we have with us a returning guest, Olga. How's it going?
Very good. Hello, I'm Olga Patijn. I am a game writer and I be playing Major Refog, who is a psyker. And he is not okay. He has been very much not okay. He went out to a mission to fight aliens with his psionic powers and he came back and the Earth was destroyed and he has been screaming ever since. He is useful, that's why he's not been cast out yet, but he is a weirdo. People do not like him. He's creepy, he's gross, and I very much enjoy playing him.
Thank you very much. And also from over there in Holland, we have Sebastian. How's it going over there?
Hi, very good. And I will be playing Freeway, who is a savage. And I think the main thing that you see when he comes is an axe that he crafted himself from a stop sign. But he can't read, so he has no clue what the sign says. He just knows it's red and he can smash people with it, and that's all that counts.
Very good. And last but not least, we have another returning guest, John. How's it going, John?
I'm good. I'm all right. I'm okay. And I'm going to be playing Gunnery Sergeant Stark this evening. So he was ambushed during the war and lost track of his squad, but he's not quite sure how long ago that was. I think he's a little bit confused. I like to think of him as a cross between a bit like Mad Max, but played by Clint Eastwood as Gunnery Sergeant Highway, potentially. So I might attempt the gruff voice, but that might go out the window. I'm not quite sure, depending on how I get on with that. So he's out there to get his pals back. He's a great believer that he's an ex-Marine and he doesn't leave any of his squad mates behind. And as long as his combat drugs hold out, he'll keep on searching for them. He hopes they're out there somewhere.
Wonderful stuff. This amazing selection of characters that have got brave heroes have found themselves in Wyldside. From their settlement, run by Junkyard Sally, she's told you that her friend, Paige Turner, who runs Wyldside, has had lots of trouble and let out a distress signal. And the scene opens with this big circular encampment with school buses and cars and big trucks and all kinds of things in this like rough circle, all piled higgledy-piggledy on one on top of the others. And to get in, like someone has to get in the car and crank the stick shift and pull it out of the way. So you've got in there. And you see a motley array. So you can see little stalls, there's tents, there's yurts, there's the occasional animals walking past, there's just broken stuff everywhere, piles of trash. All manner of people are about the place. People trying to sell you stuff, people trying to rob you. And it's one of the most bustling places in the wasteland you've probably seen for some time at the minute. On the way in, there was a lot of smoke, fire, gaseous stuff. And you found out that that's because there's an automaton, one of the Hellstrom cyber monsters, for want of a better phrase. He's out there burning things still. They've not managed to kill it, but they've got it in some kind of holding pattern where it's just going around this circuit. So it's worked out quite nicely. It's a kind of like a pseudo defense for Wyldside. This monstrous titanium creatures going burning everything, and it never seems to run out of fuel or anything like that, which is a bit weird. So with this flaming backdrop and the cornucopia of humanity and others you've got before, you've pushed your way through and found your way to Paige Turner, who's got a big shock of blondish hair. She's got skin dark like mahogany, like polished wood. It's got a shine to it amongst all the dirt and filth. She seems clean, which is the obvious sign of someone who's got some money and maybe a bar of soap. And she's got a motley array of clothes and bits of armor and stuff strapped to her. And she spots your group as you turn up, walking through the crowds and pushing your way through, because as we've described, the four characters are fairly unmistakable as a group. There's not another four people like you walking around anywhere here. She pushes some lackeys out of the way and comes rushing up to you. Says, "Who's in charge? You're the help, right? And you, Sally, wouldn't let me down."
Oh, we've gone beyond traditional leadership structures. We speak as one collective, but indeed we are here to help.
I'm in their minds.
Yeah. Oh, just because she immediately looks at the psycho. Right, okay, good. Yes. I see. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here. Look, there's all kinds of trouble. We've managed to hold all the different groups in some kind of balance in this area, but the ghost storms have been getting worse. The screaming remnants of the ghost bombs that let out these flaming spectres have been getting nearer and nearer, and that's pushed out all kinds of people. There's a biker gang over there, the Black Widows, causing all kinds of trouble. The Doombringers are there, and she casts a gaze in Brother Julius's direction, because they look pretty much similar to him, except they wear green robes rather than the dark purple ones, and they're the ones that think that humanity should be wiped out, whereas the more magnanimous Brother Julius obviously has a more humane view of the world.
It's an ecumenical matter, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a gang down there with the 9 holes. They're getting ornery now because people are pushing on their turf. The kids around the poison lake are playing up. The Ravenites outside are causing more and more trouble and demanding more money for their goods. Oh, it's just a nightmare. And now I've heard rumors that in the Hellstrom factory, Gabriel Santiago is ready to churn out more automatons to come and take over our poor little town here. And I'm trying to keep all this together with my band of junkers and some mercenaries, and I can't trust them as far as I can throw them. Look, there's a war coming. There's a battle. Any day now, Hellstrom robots are going to come stomping out of that facility in the north, and we're in trouble. And we can't fight on all sides. What I need you guys to do is either patch up some kind of alliance, take some other guys out, have a strength or something, maybe intimidate some people, cow them, or get them on side, buy them off, whatever it is you can do. Do you think you can do that? We've not got much time, but maybe you can patch together some kind of alliance or show we're strong enough to keep them away. I've got to keep an eye on things here. Like I said, the mercenaries I can't really trust. But while I'm here, they'll keep town in check. But as soon as the outside forces start coming together, that's when it's all going to go wrong. And this whole area is going to be wiped out. What do you say, kids?
I think they'll forgive me if I do it, and the voices will stop. It sounds good. Well, I'll help. I'll help to ride stock.
Stark puts his hand on the shoulder and says, "Is the corporal here, though? Have you seen the corporal? I'm sure he's here." If the corporal's here, I'll help. And starts rubbing at his eyes. And...
Yeah, sure. And as you're saying that, you can see behind the sergeant on the one of the walls, there's a mercenary walking around with like an old army jacket on, with a couple of corporal stripes.
I'll be back. I go wandering off and shouting, Corporal Fitz, is that you? Obviously going to be disappointed, but for 5 minutes, he thinks he might have found somebody.
Yeah, he's lost in the crowds, unfortunately. He's shouting, Fitzy, to the sky.
No! Camera pans away from above.
Yeah, of course we'll help you. Bringing together disparate voices is what we do, and how we're going to build the new, brighter future for this world. That's entirely what we're about. Isn't that right, Freeway?
Yeah, sure. If I get to chop somebody.
Yeah, that'll be coming.
Yeah.
Just don't go straight to the chop. Yeah.
Okay.
Remember the signal.
Not directly. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Just almost directly. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I've pulled together what I can. Igor, go bring out the stuff. And some guy comes out with his shopping trolley with 3 wheels on it, clattering about, and it's full of all kinds of junk and spare parts and cans of food and random stuff. So you have a cart full of stuff that you can use for barter, which we're going to use in an abstract fashion and see how that works when you try and use it with people.
Written it down.
Cart of stuff
on my character sheet. Cart full of stuff. Yeah. In case I forget.
Do I get to chop him now?
Oh yeah, it might come in useful, but don't no. Stop taking the stuff out, Freeway. We might need that. Leave it in the cart for now. Once we've bartered it, you can get in it, and we can do some things with it. But later. Just
Yeah. Okay.
And with this, a fist fight starts out in one of the markets, and Turner rolls her eyes, says, "Look, I'm gonna leave you to it. Junkyard Sally says you're the best in the business, or the ones that are alive and still the best in the business anyway. So you just sort out what you can and get back to me when you've got some progress. I need to sort this out. What are you two doing?" And immediately she dives in the middle of this fight, starting to pull people apart.
excellent. Right, we'll go into a little huddle, like just where we stood in the midst of this fist fight, I think, and try and plan our approach. We need to visit all of these people and implore on them how important it is that we all work together. We could start going counterclockwise, start at the gas station with the Black Widows and work our way round and see if we can get to all of them. What do you think, Revok?
I think I hear their voices, and I think they're calling us. It sounds good. We'll do it. Oh. I just need to say goodbye to my old boss. And he squirrels in a water tower, and you hear an undulating noise, and you know that there's a freeze-dried corpse in there, and then it comes back all happy.
Lovely. Oh, I did. So I'm glad you've sorted that out now. I'm not on the road. Got that out of your system. Excellent.
No, it's precious. No, it's precious. It's freeze-dried. We can't get moisture in it.
Everyone good. I'm sure Stark will find your lost men somewhere around here, but we better search them. Maybe if we start by going to the Black Widows together. I wonder if time is of the essence. We might need to split up later. But let's see what the lie of the land is first with these bikers.
Okay, no problem. You have to skirt around outside. There's a plume of flame from this blackened ash cloud outside of Wyldside again, as the never-ending automaton afterburn continues its endless patrols, and then make you across the trackless desert and chaparral till you hit the old road again, and you can see the gas station not too far away that still unaccountably is powered by spook juice, which screams when burned. And those screams are what you hear as you get close. So first, you look in Major Revok's direction because you assume that it's the Major screaming again. But no, it's not. It screams from elsewhere. And tearing up the broken highway towards you are a dozen bikers dressed in various bits of black clothing and with lots of spider motif everywhere across them as they come roaring up on their hogs, screeching as the spook just burns out the back in black belching clouds, tearing towards you. And it doesn't look actually as they start coming up as if they're about to stop anytime soon. It's almost as if they're going to ride you down. You see that front one with the big spider-like helmet with like the legs still bouncing around as his bike flappers in the wind, and you know him as Harvest Man, their leader. And you see a mean grin on his face. What do you want to do? Are you going to hold your ground? Are you going to try and step out of the way, prepare an ambush, do something else?
I will cut him down. Should I?
If he's about to attack us, Freeway, why not? I can also look in his mind to see what he's doing. You want me to look in his mind?
Yes, do that.
Oh, his secrets. I would like to mind link with him.
Sure, you can make a go.
I will push a button and things will happen.
Good.
Nothing will happen. Bad things happen, maybe. Did I roll the wrong thing?
Well, if you just want to roll your psionics, that'll be the easiest way of doing it. But
Things happen.
That was better.
there's a good possibility things happen. Even though he rolled quite well. Yeah, you have definitely got your mind link with him. You can see that his mind is filled with glee, bloodlust, and hunger.
Yes, I meet him with also glee, bloodlust, and hunger, and there's so much joy in that it's like troublesome because he's like this target that sticks out, and he's just laughing, cackling, and he's they're gonna kill us.
Stark shifts his bandolier of grenades and flips the safety off his assault rifle and says, "Are we killing these guys then?"
Yeah. I think the moment Revox starts laughing, we get that's probably the signal Freeway. That's when Revox starts cackling uncontrollably. That's when it's like, yeah, go sort them out. Violence is coming.
All right. You won't be able to see this at home, but I'm currently flipping cards for my own edification because that's how initiative works in Savage Worlds. And high cards will go first, and we'll work our way down from there. So, Olga, it's Major Revox, the quickest to act, probably because he's got this preternatural idea about what's about to happen. You've got the Harvestman and 11 other bikers bearing down upon you. What do you want to do about it?
Yes. Yeah. I think I want a telekinetic squeeze. And what does it? I've already pushed the button. Not a lot happens, but something happens.
I think it's an opposed roll, if I remember correctly.
You are the expert.
Okay, so you try to grasp his heart, but it's just pumping too strong at the minute. It's almost like he's feeding off your psychic energy as you've reflected.
I can't pull out his heart to his throat. It's too fucking big, the motherfucker.
Which I'm sure fills you all with great joy and relief. So, Freeway, the first biker is about to hit you, and he's got this big chain that is whirling around his head.
Oh.
But you get to act. You're quicker.
Yeah, I will take my axe and just like try to ram it in the ground, put my foot behind it, and like pike him.
Sounds great. Make a fighting roll.
Fighting roll.
Or hit your axe button, which will probably do the same thing. That's very much a hit. You can roll damage.
Okay, that would be my extra damage strength plus 1d8.
So I don't know whether it might do a combined roll for you if you hit there should be a button next to you.
If I hit the stop sign X thing.
Yeah,
Let's see if he does that.
Okay, there's a roll damage button on it anyway. You can click that on the result in the window. There we go.
Nice.
Okay,
and then it does +1 for the ability that I have.
A grim servant of death, indeed. Well, fortunately for him, he's got some biker's levers, so it doesn't take him out, but it does shake him. So there's a visible dong sound as his head bounces off your makeshift bike, and the bike goes a bit wobbly. But he's still in the fight, even though a little bit discombobulated, not sure what's going on. Next up, it's Gunnery Sergeant Stark.
Stark opens fire, shooting from the hip with his assault rifle. He's going to attempt to shoot the bike tires out from the guy who's bearing down on him, essentially, and maybe try and cause some kind of pile up if he can, that kind of thing. Maybe. I'm assuming I just click on my.
Yeah, make a HK roll.
Oh, it's not a good one, I don't think. I think I've obviously got a bit too excited in the heat of combat.
Yeah, due to the making a cold shot for the tires. Unfortunately, the road's all broken up. They're bouncing everywhere anyway, so it's just hard to get a bead. So you put some bullets down between them, but they've managed to avoid it. Brother Julius, what do you want to do?
Brother Julius holds his hand up and says, "Stop! No, we come in peace." As he fries the lead biker with a blast of atomic energy to make him listen to us properly. Yeah, that's a 9.
That's going to be a raise, yeah.
Oh, nice. That's 15 damage.
15 is pretty good. Okay. The Harvest Man will spend a penny to soak 1 wound, which should be enough. Okay. You now set the Harvestman on fire. There's green atomic energy burning around him, which just seems to encourage him further. Actually, he's laughing quite loud, but he just seemed less lucky than he was a minute ago, if that makes sense to you. And then it's the bad guys go. So Harvestman indeed tries to spear you with his makeshift metal spear that he's got, Brother Julius. Is your parry 5 or less?
It is exactly 5, so yes, he does indeed spear me.
He's going to take 10 damage.
That is, my toughness is 8, so I believe that...
You're just shaken.
Yeah, I duck out of the way, and it's sort of my robe's entangled in it. So I'm trying to like get off it. But I'm like, I said, would you strike a man of the cloth? I say, oblivious to the fact I've just blasted him with radiation.
Yeah, you hear his wild cackling inside of his helmet, which sounds even more weird and strange. But it's probably music to the ears of Revok. So I'll attack Revok a couple of times with random bikers, but they both miss. Attacking Stark. Ooh, we've got 1 hit there at least. What's your parry, Sergeant Stark?
It's 5.
Okay, so I get a raise. So you're going to be taking a total of 17 damage.
Oof.
What's your toughness?
So my toughness in this case, I guess, would include my armor. So that would be 11.
Yeah. 11. Okay, you took 17. So you're going to be taking 1 wound as one by one they rush past, smashing you with crowbars.
He's in the middle of them all, kind of going, "Ah!" while they're all hitting him.
That's your head down trying to shoot the tires, and then just. So you can either take the wound, or if you want to, you can spend a penny and roll vigor to try and soak it.
Well, let's have a go at that. I'm not done that. Let's have a go at that. I'll spend a penny and I'll roll vigor then. So like, just click on vigor, just a straight roll.
Yeah, just straight vigor. Yeah, you're looking for a 4+.
That's a 5. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. So there's probably like the makeup team have put some bruises on your face and stuff like that, but it's not going to impact you at all. As the sergeant's used to getting beatings, his days happened many times before. In fact, the last one that cracks you has got a helmet with Fitzy written on the side of it, and just as you just see as he's going past, as the next one like clunks you around the side of the head, and you lose him in the crowd again.
Stark kind of disappears in a cloud of dust as the bikers kind of all go around him.
Yeah. And then a couple of them take swings at Freeway. What's your parry, Freeway?
My parry is 9.
Crikey, 1 just about manages to hit you. 11 damage against your toughness of...
Toughness is 8, and I have 2 armor. I don't know if they count it in.
That's included, yeah. So you're shaken as well. So you get a smack around the side of the head by a baseball bat. It's not a physical wound, but you're sort of seeing little stars and things. And your eyes a little bit blackened and stuff like that. So yeah, just note that you're shaken for now, because you'll have to get rid of that before you can act properly. So new round. I'm going to go on 4s. Sergeant Stark is going to be going on Kings. He's level-headed, so he gets an extra card. Freeway's on 10s. Brother Julius is on jacks, and kings as well for reload. But we go in reverse alphabetical order of suit, and hearts comes before diamonds. So, Sergeant Stark, you're first up.
So the bikes all kind of like gone round me and pummeled me as they're going past. Is that kind of
Yeah, so now they're weaving in between and stuff like that, and keep like driving past and swiping at you, and then spin round in a big donut and come back the other way, and that kind of thing.
Okay, so Stark handles one of his grenades and then thinks twice about it because they're moving around. They're not in a pack, he goes at them with his assault rifle again. As they're going past, he's gonna try and take one out.
Sure.
That's a better roll this time then.
That's a raise, so you'll get an extra d6 damage.
So roll damage on there then?
Yeah, that should do it. And you can see the bonus damage will be the extra bit you get for the raise, so we'll add all them up to get 19. So yeah, you blast one of them off, and his bike explodes as well in a huge bowl of flame. And one flaming wheel rushes past you, bouncing along the uneven surface. And a howl goes up from their leader. You can't tell whether it's enjoyment or disappointment or anger or something, but he's definitely feeling emotions. He's feeling the moment. Major Reebok, talking of loving it, it's your action. What do you wish to do?
Well, I know that spook juice burns, so he starts hacking a ball of ectoplasm that launches from his mouth. It's filthy, it's green, it's dripping, and it hits, or at least he tries to hit the leader straight in the face. And he spends an extra power on that. Is that correct? Let's find out.
If you wanted to do more damage, for example, you could do that.
Yes, I would like that.
He would not like that. So there's two sides of the coin there. Weigh up your options.
Yes. Yes, I would like to spend, but I think it doesn't change my attack roll, right? And my attack roll is pretty
No,
rubbish.
it doesn't. The good news is that for a ranged attack, the target number is 4, so that's a hit.
That's
so you get to roll your damage.
roll my damage.
Yeah, which will be 3d6 in this instance. You might need to roll some extra dice. We'll see.
So this is 2d6, and then
Yeah,
roll
you want to roll a
damage.
bonus. That's right.
My word, that is not a very good roll, but I hope I inflamed some spook juice.
Yeah, you blast him. I'm going to spend his other Benny to ignore the shaken result you would get from that. So what actually happens with your blast is that you put out the flames that the Julius that started on him in like a flash of fire, and he seems almost disappointed. You see his shoulders slump a little bit that he's now not on fire in the middle of the fight, which was.
But he is very slippery and full of mucus, ectoplasmic mucus. How does he feel about that? I'm still mind-licked to him.
Yeah, not for the first time has he been covered in mucus. As I say, he seems slightly disappointed. He's much more enjoying the fiery experience. And talking of Brother Julius, it's your action. What do you wish to do?
I'll attempt to pull myself together first of all and unshake.
Yeah, it's a spirit roll.
Yeah,
which you succeed at, so you can act.
So muttering a prayer to the glorious future that the mutants will have. Based on my knowledge of my EMP power, will this cut out the bikes?
Yes, if you do it at a sufficient level, yeah.
I will spend an extra power point to focus on a large blast template, which sounds like to get as many of them as I can.
Sure.
Try and make sure the lead is definitely in that, and cast my EMP power.
Sounds good.
And yeah, that affects anything up to automatons, I think.
Okay, a blast goes out, and all of a sudden the bikes all cut out. There's a dun, 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 dun. And then they're all sort of freewheeling and like legs on either side, sort of like Fred Flintstone biking. And freeway, you'll be pleased to know that one's just come up to you, and although his chain's still whirling above his head, his bike stopped, and he's just kind of sat about 2 feet short of you, trying to like get closer.
I shout, I said we came in peace.
What do you wish to do, Freeway?
I also want to try to unshake myself first and foremost if I can.
Yeah, so there's a button for that. You can make a spirit roll, whichever one you find first. Yeah, you're good. You can act.
Okay, cool. And then I will see the leader not having that much power in his bike anymore, so jump him and just like start chopping him madly with my axe.
Do you want to go wild? It'll give you +2 to hit and damage, but you'll be easy to hit in the return.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Everybody stop now. I will start screaming like, I will get your head. And
Sure, roll your axe for us. So the good news is, because you went wild, that's going to be a hit. So you can roll your damage.
okay, I'll roll damage.
Ooh.
Okay, 18. It's going to be 2 wounds. Yeah, you start hacking well, and eventually there's a thunk as your stop sign buries itself probably up to like a couple of through the clavicle and into a rib in his side. And you have to like plant your foot on his chest to pull it out against.
Get that back.
There's a lovely arc of blood spreads across when this happens. But he's covered in thick ectoplasm, which helps him not bleed any further as it kind of just the mucus seeps into the hole. And he goes, "Oh, fine, fine. Oh, God, we'll talk then," he says. There's a weird whistling to his breathing.
I feel it all.
I'll go up to him and say, "Look, Harvest Man, as a gesture of good faith, let me take a look at that, and I will try and heal him."
Sure.
Obviously using a power, not literally healing him. Yeah. No, that can't be right. Can it?
You rolled on skilled there, I think.
No, I clicked on the power. It should be spirit though, shouldn't it? Not.
It should be.
Let me roll a spirit check instead.
You might want to check to see if the power's linked to the right attribute. I may have messed something up somewhere.
I will roll spirit and see. That's better. Yeah, I attempt to do it by hand first of all, but when he starts screaming, I like invoke the power of the atom to actually heal
hands
him.
away.
Yeah. As I'm like scraping the ectoplasm off with a knife. I'm like, oh, actually, yeah, no.
Yeah, you don't manage to heal him fully, but you definitely you stop the bleeding, and some of the bones knit a little bit and look in the right place from where they've been dislodged. And he says, this was a good. I've not had a day like this for ages. What a good fight! It was very, very enjoyable. We give us got as good as we got, didn't we, lads? And there's lots of mumbles and people like trying to use the kickstart on the bikes and stuff, and some forlornly just pushing them back in the direction of the gas station.
So you fought well, but what an honor it would be for us to fight side by side. You've seen Freeway and Stark, our mighty warriors. You've met Revok also, and myself. It'd be an honor to fight side by side. There's danger coming to this area, and it won't just stop at Wyldside. It'll take everyone out. Will you join us and fighting gloriously together? You and Revok can cackle and laugh madly all you want.
And if you don't join us, I'll tell everyone what I saw.
Okay, so this is going to be a social encounter. So effectively, you've got 3 goals. So you can split amongst you. That'll be the first one. You can make a persuasion roll if you want, Guy, and then some of those will make a rolls. And then depending on the combined number of successes you get, that will mean how much it helps you or doesn't help you or whatever. If you know what I mean. So this is your first roll. Make a persuasion for me. Sure. We'll see how.
I will do that. Right, I can, if I want to re-roll that, because I am charismatic. If I do a re-roll, do I have to take the new result? Is that how it works?
No, you can take the best result. This is a nice, friendly game.
I will re-roll then. I'm glad you said I could take the best result. I'll have that 5.
Stick with the first one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got 1 success, which is not bad, but it's not great either. And as he starts to ponder it,
I'm still like mopping his blood off my hands as I'm doing this, which is hard for him to escape. I can't really concentrate on the words.
He lifts an arm to like clap on the shoulder and realizes that he's not fully healed as something twinges and a bit of blood comes out. He's like, oh, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like you're fully committed, all of you. I mean, maybe that one is pointing at Revok, but I'm not sure about the rest of you at all. Like this savage should have killed me outright, but here I am walking around. I don't know. Seems like
should I jump him again?
Can can I mind in a mind link that I still have for him? Can I send like Freeway's success story where Freeway goes completely fucking feral into his mind to boost Freeway's prowess in his eyes?
You can definitely try that. Yeah, I'll let you use your psionics for that as well, because that
Thank you.
seems appropriate. Okay, that's going to be 2 successes. And as you're going, can I chop him? Can I chop him? Revok plays with his mind, and Harvestman starts to reappraising it, like just like you, and his goggles and saying the line goes, "Oh no, it wasn't you. You were good. You were good. It was him. He was the problem." And you see the elderly Sergeant Stark, kind of like one hand on a rock, a big breath, getting his gasp back. I don't know. Maybe it'd be fun. I don't see why we have to join others though. Why can't we just? Why don't you join us? And he starts trying to convince you to join his biker gang and talks about all the excess black clothing he's got back at the gas station. Should you want to? So, who out of the rest of you wants to make the final roll to see if you can talk him round?
Stark will change the magazine, and while he's changed the magazine to assault rifle, and while he's doing that, he will clasp him on the shoulder and squeeze the wound, kind of thing, where he's injured, and say, "Come now, if you fight with us, it will be like the retreat from Camp Fornax. We'll kill so many people. The grounds will run with blood. The glory, Semper Fi, etc., and lots of other catchphrases." Can he attempt, like, I guess is it I don't know, it's persuasion or intimidation, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, could be either of those, but based on how you described it, so you pick which one you want to go with.
I think I'll go with intimidation. I'm trying to kind of like talk about the glory of the core and all that kind of thing, and
squeezing his wound and stuff. It feels more intimidation.
Yeah,
certainly. Make a roll.
Well, it's not a good roll though, is it? I think maybe I hurt him.
It's not. Yeah.
Not only hurt his shoulder, I've hurt his feelings.
That's the more vicious wound. That's the one that cuts deeper. Okay, but in total you've got 4 successes, which is pretty good. So he does agree to help in the end. He's like, "Yeah, okay, fine, yes, but well, I'm going to need stuff." Says, "We've been getting pretty hungry since the ghost realms have come in. We've run out of food. Have you got any food? What's that in there?" And he starts pointing at your wonky trolley.
Stuff, you say?
Lots of stuff.
We could spare a little stuff.
No, I want more stuff than that. And there's a negotiation that's broken into.
Is it dice rolls again?
We've done all the dice rolls. That's fine. So, because you got 4 successes, he just wants half your stuff from your trolley. So you still got half a trolley stuff.
Yeah, well, I will definitely sit there and like just sort through it. Like, you can have that. You can't have that. You will definitely take that.
Yeah. No, we want that one. I'll give you 2 of these for one of them. And there's like a whole hour goes by when that happens. So anyone with powers can get a PowerPoint back while that negotiation and argument's happening.
Exactly what I thought. An hour. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, keep going. Recharge.
Extend these negotiations a little bit more.
Yeah.
While you're resting, I just go, "Don't give him the toaster. Get off."
No, I licked it. It's mine now.
And you've somehow ended up with like one of those foxtails that you stick on aerials on bikes sometimes and various other bits and pieces. Some baseball cards. There's all kinds of things you're now not quite sure how it ended up that way, but you can count on the Black Widow support should things go bad. And everybody seems happy to part ways on reasonably good terms, and the future slaughter and battle that will no doubt commence and cheer everybody up later on. What's next for the gang?
Well, we've got two factions quite nearby, haven't we? The Doombringers and the +4s. Maybe we should divide our attentions to persuade each of them. Because I'm sure not all of these factions will just attack us on sight. That surely can't be what this wasteland is like.
Oh no.
Well, you would know. I'm not even making a common knowledge roll for this, but you know that Doombringers particularly want to wipe out humanity. So they might not attack you on sight, but anybody
attack everyone else on sight. Yeah. I think I sum it up, and I don't really fancy going alone to them. I think I might say, well, the Doombringers might be a lost cause. You know, they're not gonna want to help you guys, and they're not like I'm a heretic to them. You know, the scripture that I follow is separate to their holy book.
How about, hear me out, we eat the Doombringers. More food, like full cart of stuff, double stuff.
We stock up on Doombringers and then we go to the +4.
And we put them in cans, and they last the whole winter.
So we're all going to go to the Doombringers.
We can eat them. We can also do it later. We can first go to the 9 holes, and then if we're hungry, we go to the Doombringers and we eat.
I think they're. I think to a norm constitution, Doombringer flesh is probably quite dangerous. It's radioactive, so I don't know if.
Well,
I like the bit of the plan. Riva, I like the bit of the plan that's go to the +4s first. Let's see and put the Doombringers on the back burner for the moment, and then maybe if we get time, we can go and eat them,
or use them as batteries.
But
yeah, or negotiate with them to help protect Wyldside.
But
Brother Julius, are you saying that going visiting the Doombringers is likely going to end in an exchange of fire?
Indeed, it is going to end in an exchange of fire. Also, I fear, Sergeant, that the people you're looking for won't be there, but they will have been exterminated by the Doombringers if they have been captured there. So they will surely have escaped.
This the Doombringers is a lost cause. He turns his back and starts walking off towards the 9 holes.
Does everybody follow him?
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, Stark's leading now. Stark's the hardest to control, so that means he's in the lead. Like it's the hardest to persuade of anything. So.
In about 20 minutes, he'll have forgotten what he's doing. Though. What? Wait a minute. 9 holes? No, I was after the sergeant. No, wait.
I'm just milling like the back burner, the fire, the barbecue, Doombringer. What's the plan now?
We go to the 9 holes because the Doombringers make poor batteries and even poorer food. They suck. They're wasteful. We don't like them.
What do we know about the +4s? Do we know anything? I mean,
not a lot, apart from a gang or an organization.
I guess together. I guess there are always 4 more than you expect.
I mean, surely they'll want us to join us because there are 4 of us. So that must be how they do it. Yeah, it fits perfectly, doesn't it?
We can be their +4.
Yeah, their +4s.
We could lead with that when we turn up.
Yeah.
We could just lead with that when we turn up and really confuse them. What are you talking about? There's 4 of us, right?
Yeah.
The 4 amigos head down from gas station towards 9 holes, which probably at one stage was a golf course. You fully imagine. There's a blasted bit of wood that once may have had something painted on it, but no longer. And I guess from Sergeant Stark's point of view, as he's in the lead, he can see all the sort of like dips and hollows and sand bunkers and stuff like that, and other bunkers that were made by cluster munitions and things. And there will be a flag in one of the golf holes on one of the bits, and everything goes a bit sepia for the sergeant, and he sees like a flag as above a last redoubt in the Denver assault, and troops from either side like laying dead everywhere, and one last guy holding up the flag or something. Whereas the rest of you just see an abandoned bit of scrub with this tattered black and white flag there. But as you start picking your way through and looking for buildings or an encampment, you realize that there's people around you. And it's only when there's like a donk as a golf ball bounces off the top of the sergeant's head, you hear the shouts, "That's far enough! You it there!" And from various bunkers, scrubs, bits of twisted trees, you see faces popping up. People with golf clubs held menacingly in their hands, and other weapons you suspect from beyond the hillocks that surround you. "Oh, I see. You've sent a delegation after we killed the last of you, have you?" And Brother Julius, you feel like it's been addressed at you. "Don't think changing the colour of your robes will make any difference. We can still see the glowing green of your eyes, Doombringer. You're foolish to come here on your own.
Oh, no. There's been a misunderstanding. Firstly, I'm not on my own. You'll notice there are 4 of us. I'll meaningfully look at him. And I'm not a Doombringer, I'm a Doomsayer. I seek to. I'm not seeking the extermination of norms. Otherwise, why would I travel with these my looks friends and fellowship? We have joined together for a brave new world. I come not to preach to you, though. I come to ask for an alliance to protect us from a far greater danger. And then he's like, everyone else can see him like thinking on his feet, and against the Doombringers too, who are also our enemies.
Yes, for they are unedible and make poor batteries. They suck.
Well, only now we were planning an assault on them, but we decided to wait and see if we'd have friends like you guys to help us out.
And eventually, a largish figure comes out from the small copse of twisted blackened trees and brush, and he's wearing one of those diamond jumpers in nice pastel colours, but it's obviously made for someone quite smaller than him. So he's not inconsiderable bellies hanging out over his trousers, his +4s with wide at the top and thin at the ankles that come out halfway down his calves. He's wearing some Crocs, and he's got a 7-iron across his back that he's holding, doing twists with a nice jaunty cap with a woolly bobble on it. Fear me, he says straight away. Bow before. And there's shouts of 4, 4, 4 around, and golf balls shower you from various different directions. Sometimes it's not golf balls, there's other things, but generally roughly spherical objects are hit from over the dunes and pepper around you. It says, well, if you wish our alliance, so-called Doomsayer, you must prove it with words. We are beset on all sides by enemies. If we're to help you, you must help us. Maybe if you can prove that you can kill the Doombringers, that would be a good thing also. But there's these damn kids, and he points his 7-iron off to the east, coming over here, getting on our lawn, taking our stuff, causing all kinds of mischief. We're beset on both sides. Well, if you can either get rid of these damn kids or slay these Doombringers or send them off into the ghost stones where they belong, why then we'll return the favour. As one good turn deserves another.
So we're going to do it like the dumb way, where we don't collaborate, and then we're going to fight them on our own, and if we die, you still have another enemy, but if we work together, we can kill both your enemies. But you want to do it the dumb way. Okay.
We did it the good old-fashioned way. Fair play, sportsmanship, one-on-one, mano-a-mano.
Okay,
look, we get a buy. This is our course. We're obviously through to the second round, but you people need to prove yourself.
Okay, we'll go in a little huddle, just stood there in front of him, and speak like completely audible to him as well. About, I think we do it. Do we go for the kids or the Doombringers though? We were going to go for the Doombringers anyway, weren't we?
Yes, yes. They make poor batteries.
And they're not edible. Very offensive.
Apparently they killed my friends.
Yeah.
So
did they? Oh,
somebody
yes.
said they did.
I told you that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Julius, you said
Yes.
they did.
Oh yes, definitely. They killed your friend. Yes, we were going to kill them anyway, weren't we?
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, yeah. Well, we'll trap them though. We'll be really clever about it. Trust me, I've got a plan.
Oh, then everything will be fine. We'll be fine. Plan is good.
So yeah, we'll deal with the Doombringers for you. Don't worry.
Oh, good stuff, capital.
We'll sort them out.
Well, we can spend some time seeing off the kids, and all be good. Bloody kids.
Right, here's the plan. I'll say straight away. We need to lull them into a false sense of security. So maybe I could go pretend I've had a change of heart and I want to be a Doombringer, and pretend to have all 3 of you like captured. And then when we get into their camp and they least expect it, We jump them.
Sounds good.
Did you understand the plan, Freeway?
No, I will chop them.
We'll do the signal. It's okay. When Revox starts laughing, that's when it goes bad. That's when you start hitting things. Yeah.
Ah, that is easy. I always do that.
Yeah.
Major Refog licks your forehead for good luck.
So the only thing I should say, the only thing that could go wrong with this plan is, well, even back at the church, they used to say I had very honest eyes. So I'm not very good at telling a lie because it's against my vows.
Oh, that is quite simple. We blindfold you.
Excellent. Then they won't see my eyes.
Exactly.
My eyes won't betray me.
But if you repeat what I'm saying, are you lying or are you just repeating what I'm saying?
I don't like. You're quite honest, Reva, can't you?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the plan. We'll blindfold me. We'll go in, and Reva, you say what's happening, and I'll say that I've captured, or maybe you've captured. No, wait, no, we're overcomplicating it.
I just wanted to piggyback in your mind and tell you what to say, but
Oh, I thought you'd just tell me what to say, and I'd just say it again. Will that not work?
exactly. But then in my mind, in your mind, so it looks like you're saying it, but you're not lying because I'm saying it. You're just repeating what I say.
Excellent. Yeah, we can sort out the detail in the moment. I'm sure we're ready. Stark, you ready? You know what's going on? You know the plan?
We go in there and we kill them.
Pretty much, yeah. That's
Yes.
pretty much
When Revo cackles.
Freeway, you know the plan.
The cackle.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, Revoc, you know the plan.
Yep.
Excellent. Right. Sort of. Right. Yeah, we do that. We do that, guys. That's
Okay.
we do. We do that.
we cut,
probably don't
cut
even
forward.
need to roll, do we? Like,
Barely. We cut forward. So another hour's passed to get another PowerPoint back if you count such things. And you're finding yourselves in the outskirts of the city. It's kind of the suburbs, although it's hard to tell because everything's so degraded and stuff like that. There's a big wall of screaming demons and specters not that far away. When the atomic bombs dropped in this setting, they weren't as big and devastating as real ones would be in our world, but they were also packed with ghosts and undead spirits and things like that. So these screaming souls were joined by the thousands that died in the flames as well. So there's a supernatural firestorm very close to you now, which makes for great visuals as we see like the camera from behind you and this massive wall of screaming things in front. Revox looking perfectly at home because it's just like normal. The rest
Just
of
like
maybe
my dreams. It's just like home every night. Every night.
So if you imagine suburbia in literal hell, that probably gives you a good vision of what the place looks like as you're picking your way, trying to find your way through. And as you get to probably what was a chapel at one point, but it's now little more than blackened wooden walls and a crushed steeple to one side, you realise you've been surrounded by Doombringers. Their leader stands in what was a cemetery at one point, but now it's just blacked heath with bits of rugged stones like broken teeth sticking out of the horrible ground. And he grins to himself as he sees Brother Julius approaching with his motley band and nods, and you can all see the little pinpricks of green light as the other Doombringers around start to open their eyes and peer at you, and you realise you're surrounded. What do you say? How do you present yourselves?
I mind click with Brother Julius and I say, I have fallen from my fate through. I recommend that Brother Julius says that at least in his mind. And I want to be a Doombringer.
I'll say that. I say what? Yeah.
You just verbatim saying what?
Verbatim say it. I've fallen from my faith. I want to be a Doombringer.
There's no way that Major Revox about to say anything that doesn't fit, and you just blurt it out anyway. So good to know that we've got that.
Yeah. We had a plan.
Okay. You can make a persuasion roll, but you're going to need a raise because it seems very unlikely.
Yeah, get a reroll on it.
You never know. You never know.
We'll see how our technicality of me not lying because I'm beating something
Someone else puppeted by someone else.
Because it's -4 if I'm lying. So I'll use that reroll. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work.
Okay, so on the reroll, you do get your raise. So welcome back to the fold, and you brought sacrifice. Good. This is good. We must feed them to the holy fires. And he kind of casts an arm back behind to this wall of screaming death and flame and spiritual torment. Bring them forth. And you feel all the other Doombringers are closing in around you. And there's a cause of celebration. They're going, oh, well, a couple like get up to you and slap you on the arm. Brother, oh, well done, good.
I am enjoying this.
I am enjoying this.
God, yeah, you seem, your voice is breaking with emotion, brother. I can only imagine what it must be like for you. As the others sort of grab your companions and start pushing them towards the atomic spiritual flame.
I'm worried that Revok's having too much fun to give the signal and laugh. Revok's got distracted by this wall. It's the calmest we've ever seen.
Yes.
Could you all make, well, not Brother Julius, but could the rest of you make vigor rolls for me, please? As the crackling atomic energy, even without a Geiger counter, begins to make itself felt.
No,
okay.
come back.
Gunnery Sergeant Stark, you've got a level of fatigue now from radiation poisoning, as you can start to feel the claw of the isotopes.
I start cackling, but I cackle in Brother Julius's mind. So this most insane cackle goes in your mind, and you feel nightmares flooding into you, and ghosts and things, and you feel them like crawling in your skin and like getting like hands inside of you while through your chest, through your eyes. Like that's nightmares.
Yeah, I will then like scream and be like, "Aha! I'd never convert to your faith. The joke's on you. This is an ambush." As I turn around to being honest to a fault. This is an ambush, I shout.
Stark throws his row open and pulls out a grenade and throws it to the Doombringer. And hopefully also it says catch. And hopefully in the hope that he might not realise what's going on.
Playing it completely straight back.
Yeah.
Well, let's go in initiative order. I've dealt out some cards to everyone, and fortuitously, it seems that Brother Julius, you are the first to act as you spring your ambush. I'll give you your monologue for free. You can just have that, and then you can do an action as well.
Yeah, I will. Is it all like radiation around here? Is that going to?
Oh yeah. Very much so.
Right, I will cast. Environmental protection on like everybody else, not like my three friends, so they don't take damage from radiation. Hopefully. Oh, is that not successful?
That's an unsuccessful roll, unless you want to spend a penny.
I might spend a penny to reroll that because I think it might save us quite a bit of trouble. Yeah, I'll spend a penny. That's better. So yeah, any radiation or intense color, it's reduces damage by 6.
Excellent. Okay, so I'll say you don't have to make any more vigor rolls to try and not be radiation poisoned, and if they use their atomic powers on you, we can reduce the damage by 6 because of the protection that Brother Julius has given you, which is pretty good. Okay, so he's given his monologue and secretly protected you against the harmful atom. And then we go to Freeway. The cackling has begun. The signals happened. What do you do?
I take out the sharpened hubcap that I have strapped to my back and just throw it at the first guy, like try to hit directly his throat.
Sounds good. It's an athletics check, or you should be able to press your hubcap button and it should do it for you, I think.
Yeah, that should do it.
That's not great. You could spend a penny to re-roll it if you wanted, or you can be happy with a miss for now.
No, I think I will spend a penny to re-roll it. That is better.
That's about to hit. You can roll your damage.
And that is
just 5. Okay.
+1, I think, for the
your grim servant of death. Yeah, it's the same as all. He's shaken basically. So yeah, you just cut a line across his throat rather than cut his throat open as he moves in slow motion, and you see it skim across and then arc into the flames and dissolve into spiritual fire. And he looks at you with his burning green eyes. Stark, you said something about a grenade, I believe.
Yes, I throw a frag grenade at the leader of the Doom. What are they again? Doombringers, and shout, "Here, catch!" in the hope that the
Yeah, tries to catch it.
Yeah, catch. Yeah, they'll try to catch it and catch him. Oh God! Well, let's see what happens. I might throw it in the wrong direction into the fire.
His mate is going,
Yeah.
don't catch it, it's an ambush.
I've got a 4. I don't know. Is that?
Yeah, because it's a ranged attack and you're not in close combat with him. Yeah, that's 4 is exactly what you needed, so you can roll your damage.
Cool. I'll roll my damage. Oh, there we go.
My word.
Okay. Let's roll a vigor for the leader. Okay, he can suck one of them. So you've wounded their leader, and these 2 like associates who are next to him, ready to like hand him accoutrements of state and power and all the rest of it, are just shredded by bits of flying metal as he catches the grenade, and the bits of metal come out from between his fingers and shred his 2 acolytes. But miraculously, he's alive. There's bits of cuts on him and stuff like that, but as he pulls his hands apart, you can see this glowing green energy coming out of them, the metal just melting away and running in rivulets down his arms. So he's taken some damage, but the power of the atom has kept him alive somehow, even if his companions are dead. Okay, then we actually go to them. So he's going to try to recover from being shaken first of all, because that shook him up. He does, and then he points in your direction, Stark, and tries to dominate you with a fear-causing power. In fact, as your soul will burn forever, like that of your men. You will see them die before your eyes. Can you make a spirit roll at -2 to try and resist his attempt to intimidate you with fear?
Is there a modifier place I do that, or do I just take 2 off what I've rolled?
We'll just take 2 off when you roll it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the easiest
Spirit
way.
roll. Okay. I've got at 4, but I don't know the wild die is an 8. I don't know what that is. Though. Is that?
Yeah, so you pick the best one.
So it's an 8 minus 2, so it's a 6 then.
6. So it's a success. Yeah. So despite his attempts to cow you, you live with the horror of seeing your men die every day. So it doesn't have the effect that he thought it would. But he's definitely got his eye on you. So there's 4 others, and they all release bolts in your direction, green, horrible energy sheets. Let's have a look. So 2 will attack your Doomsayer because he is an apostate and they wish him dead. Let's have a quick look. They're going to be on D8s. So a miss, 1 hit for 5 damage your way, which you suck in the atomic energy and it nourishes you. 1 attacks Major Revok, getting a raise. So it's going to be 11 damage, but we take 6 off that through environmental protection that Brother Julius gave you. So you just take your 5. What's your toughness?
Toughness is 7.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't affect you. The energy just seems to wash over you.
It tickles.
Indeed.
Do it again.
And finally at Freeway, the blast just goes awry, probably as he's backpedaling, trying to get out of the way of your swinging stop sign or hubcaps or whatever you're currently wielding. So that's all the bad guys done. And Major Revok, you get to act.
Yes. I press another telekinetic squeeze, and if I make it, if I spend a penny to re-roll it, then I have a 5 on the big bad.
This is an opposed roll, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's gonna.
Go on, let's spend another gem, Benny. Yeah. You can almost feel it in your hand, and then
He feels like a hand moving through his organs, but he resisted. But he sees me.
he rearranges the atoms in his body so that his heart moves. So when your hand finally gets there, there's just an empty space that your hand's metaphorically moving around in.
Where have you hidden it?
He's reluctant to say it, as you might expect. Okay, so we'll do the round. Queen for the bad guys. Stark is level-headed, so he's on a 7. We've got a king for Freeway. Got 4s for Brother Julius and a 7 for Major Revok. So, Freeway, you're first. What's going to happen?
I will look to Revok like, you want his heart? You want his heart? I cut it out. I cut it out. I cut it out. and I jump at the guy and just start like ripping him open with my axe thing.
Sounds good. Let's do that. Are you going wild again?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that won't help you. You can spend a penny to re-roll if you want to try and get a better result, or you can just live with your shame.
Nah, shame is for losers. Let's reroll. That is better.
Okay, because you've gone wild, it makes it a 7, which will hit him, so you can roll your damage.
Okay, damage.
It's yeah. So
Oop. Plus 1 is 10. Plus wild would be plus 2 again. So 11.
Yep. So 9, 12 minus his toughness. Okay, he's going to be taking another wound. Yeah, just one more wound. As you hack at his chest, and his makeshift armor starts to fall apart as a bit of like a stove door or something falls off the front of him as you're hacking away, and he's looking quite distressed now. His earlier arrogance has slipped away a little bit. And he says, "Come, Doorbringers, we must destroy them. We cannot suffer them to live." And with that, he tries to blast you with his atomic powers. So a freeway, I managed to hit just a regular hit though. Oh, he's got the chosen 8 damage against your toughness. I think you're going to be shaken.
Toughness is 8.
Yeah, so there's a flash of atomic energy in your eyes which disorientates you and gives him a chance to back away. So you're going to be shaken.
Does the -6 apply to that? Sorry.
Yes, environmental protection.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, so actually you're not shaken at all. There is a momentary flash which disorientates you, but you just shake your head and then can see quite clearly. He's in fact there. And then we've got his 4 cronies. So I was looking for my dice, but they're actually on the machine in here in front of me. I can press a button to make it happen. So attacking Stark misses. 2 attacking the apostate. Both are going to hit for just 6 and 4 damage.
Neither of those is going to do.
You're too robust to be upset by. Revox attacked. It misses. That was it. That was 4, wasn't it? Yeah. So there's blasts of atomic energy everywhere. There's big scorch marks. Tombstones explode. Bits of picket fence go flying. And then you do that Samuel L. Jackson bit where you all look round and go, "Oh, we all appear to be fine." So, Major Revoc, you get to do something. What do you want to do?
I can do blast too. I do a double blast. I do. Are there? What? Who's still there?
There's 4 of them plus the leader.
Oh, I guess I go for 2 flunkies, but I blast them with my boosted bolt. Motherfucker.
Yep, that's a hit.
Oh, it's a hit. Oh, okay, good.
Roll your damage.
They are very wet. Roll
This is
damage
your
with bonus
ectoplasmic
damage.
blast, is it?
Yes, because I used an extra thing, a bonus damage. So it's 10 damage.
Okay, 2 of the flunkies drown in ectoplasmic ichor, I imagine.
Who's inferior now?
The big bubbles of viscous stuff coming out of their throats.
And you see that, like, every time it bubbles out, it goops back in, like it punches almost.
Yeah, sounds horrific. Thank you for that. Happy nightmares, everybody. Sergeant Stark, you're up.
And Stark squints in the radioactive glare and whispers to himself as he looks at the Doombringer leader, "You still being alive is suboptimal." And he kind of reaches around and pulls out his assault rifle from under his robe. And I have a skill of rock and roll, and I'm not quite sure what full auto does in this. So I'm not quite sure. Can I find out what that does before I decide whether I do it or not?
Yeah, we should definitely do it, and then I'll tell you what it is. So
more in the sense of, yeah, go on. Yeah. Sorry.
An automatic weapon normally gives you a penalty when you go full auto, but because you've got rock and roll, you can ignore that. So what it will do, you've got rate of fire 3 on your HK, so you'll make 3 shooting rolls and 1 wild die roll. So if you make 3 shooting rolls, we'll take the first wild die, and then it's just the shooting die from the second team. But we'll take the best 3 results out of those 4 rolls. So hit your gun 3 times, then I'll tell you what happens if that's
okay. Well, that's really good then. I'd like to think that it goes John Woo slow motion at that point as the bullets kind of the cartridges fly out the side of the gun. Like.
Yeah, the shell casings are spinning in the radioactive fire and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, kind of glinting off it. Okay, first one. It's that one. So 3 rolls, did you say?
Yeah.
That one.
Okay, so it's basically, yeah, we get 3 hits, so we want 3 lots of damage, please.
Okay, so I've got that one, got that one,
Nice.
and we got that one. There we go.
Nice.
Okay, the bullets stitch across the Doombringer's leader, and blood spurts, and he falls backwards into the atomic fire dead, causing his 2 acolytes to flee. And as the screen goes black, there's an explosion of radiation and fire, with Gary B written in smoke across it for unknown reasons. That's where we will take a break. And through the magic of editing, everyone at home, we'll be back quite shortly, just in a few seconds. Hopefully with my beautiful visage, but who knows with the vicissitudes of fate. So do join us again for the second half of Hell on Earth. Hello everyone, welcome back. It will only have been a few seconds for you, but all kinds of technical wizardry is happening here. We've got rid of the ghosts in the machine, or at least we hope we have, and banished them to another dimension so we can continue with our journey. What happened in the first part? Well, the group found themselves at Wyldside, being asked to help recruit and defend against the evil Hellstrom Corporation, which is going to send automatons in some horrendous pogrom against everybody in the local area, or perhaps other things would happen that just mean that the civilizations we know it here would collapse. So they went to the gas station, fought with the Black Widows, got the respect, and gained their alliance. Then went to Nine Holes and found the +4s and agreed to get their support by destroying the Doombringers near the Ghost Storm riddled city nearby. And we finished with their leader being gunned down and his acolytes either being murdered or fleeing, as is their wont. So we'll flash back to the Nine Holes, which, as we've discussed previously, the sergeant sees as some kind of battleground with the forlorn flag still flying, the Lost Hope playing in the background somewhere, and the rest see as a manky old golf course with lots of holes in it. But there's pats on the back, there's sherry passed round in little glasses. I say glasses, for some of the it's like empty cans or bits of enamelware that they found or whatever it is. But they've dusted off one of the bottles of commemorative sherry, and you can all have a little snifter. And there's claps on the back and talk about the difficulties and what happened, and you get to tell your tales. And eventually their corpulent leader scratches at the belly that's hanging out from underneath his Argyle jumper and says, so what next for you? We'll back you on this one. We've seen off the kids, we've given them a good thrashing, and they'll no longer be bothering us. It seems that from here to the Ghost Storm, everybody's on our side. Is there anything left to do? I can see the black churning smoke coming out of the Hellstrom factory again. No doubt soon they'll be sending their dreaded automatons.
So maybe we should assist Wyldside in its preparations. What do you think, Sergeant? You've done this kind of thing before. Did Wyldside look really easily defendable to you?
It needs some work, but I think we'll be all right, says the sergeant. Inside, crying slightly, not really sure. Remembering back to Zone Alpha Red and the massacre of his entire company, but it doesn't tell anybody about this. We'll be okay, he says.
Are you sure, Sergeant?
I'm
you
sure,
seem a little distracted.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But you'll be all right this time, he says quietly.
Yes. Maybe this time. Time we'll make it.
Is that a tear, Sergeant? Are you okay? Something in your eye?
Yeah. There's kind of like a pipe band playing somewhere in the distance.
I like to think there's a montage of all the other groups that the sergeants had over the years, one by one getting wiped out.
The last survivor of every single one of them.
Yeah. You don't quite realise that you're just the latest in a long line.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well,
don't tell me your names. Don't tell me your names.
Hello, I'm Roger. To me. I've recently been reunited with my wife. I thought she was lost to me, but here she is. And expecting our next child.
Once you defended Wyldside, we can all go home again, can't we?
So looking forward. Look at our lovely crops that are starting to burgeon. And with such things, your head's back. So you've got the Black Widows, you've got the +4s. The Dimbringers you think are no longer a threat. God knows what's happening with the kids, or the old ways Indians, or the Reverenites outside of Wyldside hanging about the place. But what are you going to do? So what we'll do this as a quick encounter, it's called. So this is you lot setting up defenses or creating tactics, whatever it is. So you all get to make one roll, and you'll chain one after the other, and you pick an appropriate skill for whatever it is you're doing and make your roll, and then we work out how many successes we got to see how well you've shored up the defenses of Wyldside. So who wants to go first? What are you doing?
I can go first. I'm going to be taking some old bits of of fencing and barbed wire and putting them up to an old battered generator and trying to construct some a sort of makeshift electric fence around the outside. Possibly not realizing that it's not that dangerous for me, but it is for like everybody else around all these norms. So yeah, I'm attempting to use my electronic skill.
Sounds perfect.
Which I'm sure is what you do for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
To create some defenses. So but I'll take that. The 5.
5, a success. Pretty good. Good start. And you now have an electrified. I presume there's some kind of ceremony where you have one of those big Victorian style levers that you jink, and there's a buzzing sound.
Yeah. It's a smell of ozone, like that.
Against... So the lights dim and stuff. So, the car lights come on in one of the one part of the
radio
wall.
starts playing.
Lovely stuff. Who's next?
Yeah, I wanted to find the highest thing that I can find somewhere in Wyldside, climb on top of it, and spy out into the distance so I can like count people and warn the others of like movements and maybe maneuvers, and just keep a general eye out too.
That sounds good. Well, there is, of course, the tall water tower with the frozen corpse in that Revoc likes to scream in. But you can stand on the roof of that for sure. Is that a notice roll or something you're going for, or something
yeah, notice roll. I think athletics would be a bit pushing it. So
yeah, I think so.
Oh, that is nice. That is nice.
Okay, that's a raise. That's pretty good. Okay, yeah, you can definitely see the easy ways of approach and where you might lay some ambushes or things, or you're sure there's going to be no surprises from your good vantage point at least. And you can start directing people and pointing out.
Yeah, I'm yelling down like, they might come from there. We can't see them there if they come from there. So please send some people over there, and general like directing from all the way up the highest point of the water tower.
Yeah, very good. So, and people seem to take your gesticulations and know what you mean, because that you've got Paige Turner's like writing on this big chalkboard she's got and holding up questions which you can't read because you're illiterate. So then she gets like unexpected answers back, and there's some confusion and rubbing out and more things held up. But you're not quite sure what they do. They seem to be enjoying themselves down there, so it's fine. You did a sterling job.
But I see this happening, and I mind link Freeway, and I mind link Major Revoc, and I start mind linking more people and more people and more people, and I push this gigantic information network, and I'm downloading everybody's knowledge about weak points, and there's still barbed wire there, and I actually know something about that, and I'm just putting that knowledge, filtering it, and pushing it back out there to the relevant places, and everybody feels their sticky hand in their mind, like those folds in your brain I massage.
Sounds amazing. I can't imagine any consequences if you make a critical fail on this roll. There's probably nothing that could spring to mind about what might happen.
I'm sorry. Oh God, thank God.
No, you could. Okay, another success for the pile you've got. Brilliant. Yeah, you act as like a local internet or something, or some kind of LAN.
But more sticky.
But more sticky and viscous. There's information shared and bits of forgotten knowledge. Things that people didn't even know they knew anymore. You managed to uncover in little cupboards of their minds, and some other things that were probably the best left buried. But we'll not worry about them. So everything seems to be going well. The organisation is done. You've done some good scouting. There's an electric fence. What does Sergeant Stark do to help?
While this is going on, Stark is there's a gang of people with shovels up behind him, and he's marching the perimeter and working out ranges and stuff like that in a military fashion. And he keeps saying, "Dig here, dig there," and he's digging trenches. And he's hoping that the Black Widows will turn up with some fuel to put in the trenches in the hope that we may need to set fires to hold them off to create a perimeter at some point. Just kind of like creating an out. He's working on trying to organize an outer perimeter type thing. Not quite sure how long it'll last, but that's what he's attempting to do anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good. Got to make a roll for me.
I'm not sure. I mean, is battle more of a tactics thing? Would it be a battle thing if he's
Battle works for me, for sure.
He's got a 5, is that?
That's another success, yeah. So 5 successes. There's only 4 of you. That's plenty. So you, in inverted commas, win shoring up defenses. You'd be glad to know. And it's just as these trenches are getting to the point where they're about as dug as they're ever going to get, when the shout comes up for freeway that the gates are opening from the Hellstrom facility, and a rolling set of automatons, some like clockwork tarantulas, some like hunter killers from the Terminator movies, but probably a bit more intimidating because they're made of ghost steel, so you can see the shifting faces of the dead in the oily surface of the metal and that kind of stuff. And this intimidating army starts rumbling towards you. And Reebok can reach out with her mind to tell the +4s and the Black Widows that now's the time to come and join them. And you see the biker gang and the golf carts of the two groups start to just converge on your area. I mean, you probably also notice the kids running all over the golf course now as well once the +4s have left, but probably best not to tell them that till after the battle. Okay. The mercenaries as well, I'll probably give you for free that they seem still shaky. So outwardly, they're quite bullish. But because Reevok's been in everybody's mind, you can tell that they'll run if it looks like trouble. They're not as robust as perhaps other people might think they are, although they're putting on a good show outwardly for everybody at the minute. And battle is joined. So to give everybody an idea of what happens, in the full rules, we would use 10 tokens as the number, but that can be quite a long battle. And as you know, on Unconventional GMs, we like to run things quickly. So I'm going to give 5 force tokens to Hellstrom. I would normally only have given a couple to the good guys in this case, but you've recruited 2 other factions. So we're going to call that another 2 force tokens. So it's 5 to 4, and these are like relative numbers. So the force strength is slightly with the Hellstrom faction, but you're not too bad. Every round, what's going to happen? You're going to have a general that's going to make a battle roll to try and affect the other teams, the other factions' force and bring you down. And you'll all get an individual action as well as you want. If you succeed in your individual actions, you'll give a bonus to your leader for when he makes his battle roll. So think in big, bold terms of what you do over an hour. So each round we have for this metal battle is not the usual few seconds. It's actually a full hour of stuff. And if you don't roll really well, you might get more fatigued or take wounds as well as you go. But we'll go round by round, and I think you get the idea. So just think of something you want to do, make a appropriate skill roll, then we'll make a battle roll at the end, and it should all become clear as we go. And we'll just fill in all our own narration about what that looks like as we go along, as we normally do, to make it more interesting and cool. So who actually is your battle commander? So we know.
I think do you want Stark take command and start thinking, well, this is where I say goodbye to everybody, kind of thing, start shaking everyone's hands.
Yeah.
I've been here so many times before.
Yes.
Yeah, you fought in so many of these impossible defenses, Stark, that you told us about.
Yeah.
Again,
we won every time, obviously.
Always lived.
Any battle I walk away from is a victory.
Yeah, the story starts to go around that Sergeant Stark's the survivor of 100 battles. The fact that he's the only survivor of those 100 battles kind of gets omitted, but so there's a great swell of pride in everybody as well. So the sort of good news for you is that you've got some fortifications, you've got a plan, so that all helps. The bad news is that the opponents won't be making morale checks because they are automatons and cannot be broken will. So you're going to have to like grind them all to dust, basically. They're not going to stop till you've destroyed them. So the first bit of the battle is when the scuttling clockwork tarantulas come with their lovely, loads of little legs come pattering across, and it almost sounds like there's a thunderstorm or a rainstorm or something, because the piston up and down of their legs in great frequency causes tremulations and stuff like that, and a couple of cars fall off the top of your barricade as the whole ground starts to shake, and Freeway has to like surf on the top of the water tower as it becomes unstable. So if Stark, you're going to make the battle roll fully for this hour, but you still get to do something individual. So what we'll do is we'll start with you with your individual action, go through everybody else, and then you'll get to make another roll at the end for the battle roll, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
So for your personal activity over the hour, what you're doing to try and influence the battle, what is it you do?
So Stark is going to swear, get the people on. He's going to march to defend the perimeter and swear everybody as a member of the Marines, and basically swear them all in effectively, and make a very try and do a morale rousing thing, saying we're all in the core now, that kind of thing, and marching around. That's what he's going to be doing as you can hear the noise getting louder and louder outside and the rumbling. That's his.
Sounds amazing. Do you want to make your relevant skill roll for that? Is it persuade?
I think, but yeah, it's not intimidate. I think it's persuasion, isn't it? Because he's trying to do it in a positive type way. Yes. So. Oh, there we go.
You get a raise. Excellent. So there's no ill effects for you, and I'm just going to make a note that you're going to get +2 to your battle roll for this round, as everybody's like getting on board. You even find like some old uniforms tucked away, or perhaps a flag that's in some
flag. It's got to be a flag.
Yes. Yeah. It gets handed up to the water tower, and whether it's the right way up or not, when Freeba actually puts it up, we don't know, because he's not very good at pictures and words and things. But it goes up anyway. You've got a flag, so good stuff. Okay, who's next to do something?
I can go. The automatons themselves are quite well shielded from EMP blasts, but their little tiny legs aren't. And so, like across the wasteland, little tiny EMP blasts are firing as Julius manipulates the atomic energy to try and interfere with their locomotion.
Sounds cool.
Got his faith for that. Yeah, 7.
That's a success. Okay, can I get in the +1? And indeed, you slow down the tide of these clockwork automatons, but you suffer a level of fatigue as you're having to draw more and more energy. It's tiring stuff, and there's an endless wave, but you are having an effect, which is good news.
Is Stark still fatigued from last time? Or I guess he's not had any chance to rest, has he? So
I'm going to say during the preparations and stuff, you probably got a chance to to recover. I think that's fair.
Okay.
So Freeway, can I go to you for what you do?
Yeah, sure. I think I will like having spotted everything and stuff. I'm just running forwards and backwards to also like give information from one part of the thing, one part of the battlefield to the other, and like shift the men, and like essentially play a little bit of a runner boy to like message the battlefield, because Revok can't possibly keep up with everything while he has to do something else. So I will take over a little bit of that and just message everybody and keep the people moving to the right spots.
Sounds great. So athletics you're ugly for there?
Yeah. Nice.
Ace, a race, another +2. Yeah, no ill effects at all. You are indeed like lightning running around and climbing like a monkey up different bits and pieces and leaping off things and parkouring around the place, carrying messages and keeping everybody well stoked. Good stuff. So finally, Major Revok, what do you do?
Well, seeing as Major Reefer got a break as Freeway took over the last things, he's been secluded for quite a while, and he comes out with this massive bucket of ectoplasm slime, and he's like, blessings for everyone. Here. People get splashes, and if they're splashed, they get an armor bonus. Provides toughness instead of armor. It's not affected by AP.
Okay, so you give everybody protective ectoplasm sphere.
Yes.
Or not.
Or not. Maybe they're just really sticky.
You're just obscuring the vision and just clouding their ears.
I thought we were in the Marines. This isn't part of the Cyber Business Sergeant.
It smells awful.
Okay, well, the good news is it does actually give you +1 to the battle roll because it motivates more, but you end up taking a wound. So at some point, as you're doing this, one of the big burly junkers just turns around with his massive wrench after you've splattered him in the face, cracks around the head with it. So if you're marked, you've got a wound.
I had to vomit like for 2 hours to get this.
You'll be vomiting again if you do that with me. As he gets a Q-tip out and starts trying to clean his hair out. And it's just a big stringy slime bit that comes out.
It won't work.
Okay.
Scuttle.
So, yeah, as you scuttle off with your precious slime, Sergeant, you get to make your battle roll to see how well the gun's going. Obviously, like there's loads of people with guns and there's catapults and all kinds of things that are going on as these spiders are crawling all over the cars and bonnets and things. So you make your battle roll and you get +6 to this roll due to all the help you've received.
Right, okay, here we go. Ooh. So I get 15 + 6, is that right then? So
Yeah, indeed. Depending on
21.
against that. And I rolled reasonable, but you get a raise. Okay. Now then, is roll 20 going to let me change that number? It is, magically. Okay, so their force goes from 5 to 3, so you're now outnumbered the automatons, it seems. There's been a few casualties, but due to your expert tactics and all the shenanigans that you've pulled off, you can see the lots of these spiders have gone wandering off into the desert as their locomotion's been interrupted. Some have fallen into trenches, some have come to a halt, like clambering half over the electrified fence and got frazzled. But it's at this point in the second hour when Santiago sends in hunter seekers and some drone-like craft start to come above your trenches and your electrified fences and dropping bomblets on you from afar and swinging around in great sweeping things like angels of death. So for the second hour, how do you fight off this aerial assault? And we'll go to you, Sergeant Stark, first. How do you personally affect the battle?
Stark is going to he's on the walls all the time with this. There's going to be apart from all the shooting and stuff like that, there's going to be a breach. They drop some bombs and there's a breach in the perimeter, and some of the remaining ground things start kind of crawling in, and Stark with an axe in one hand and his assault rifle in the other, and someone carrying a flag behind him leads a counter-attack, and they kind of pile in, and there's a huge melee in the breach, and then as the hour comes to an end, there's Stark. Everybody around him obviously is dead, and Stark, blood drenched, staggers back to the wall, kind of thing, carrying the flag. And kind of he's lost his axe now. He's still got his assault rifle. That's what he does. So
that sounds an amazing picture. Let's roll some dice and see how it goes for him.
It might not be that cinematic.
Because you say he staggers back.
Just say that, yeah. So is that going to be? I don't know what kind of roll is that? A battle roll or is that a?
It sounds like he's fighting. I think if you're in the
fighting,
breach,
isn't it? Yeah, it's fighting. It's kind of okay. It's fighting roll. So we go with that one. Oh, sorry, it's the first one. Sorry, I rolled it. I didn't mean to click on it twice. There we go.
So yeah, so it's a regular success. So good news, you're going to get +1 on your battle roll. And the downside of that is that you suffer a level of fatigue.
Okay. So he does indeed stagger back because he is knackered.
Covered in bits of your comrades wheezing, your elderly lungs struggling, all the rest of it. But yeah, who knows how many of your combat drugs are left after that. But you have managed to seal the breach, mostly with the bodies of your allies. But it is sealed now, and that's that. Okay, so shall we try and? I think I can remember the last order. Was it Brother Julius that went second last time?
Yeah, Brother Julius is nowhere to be seen from the last action, nor is the shopping trolley cart half full of stuff. We get a cut. Tell me if this is too much, Gaz, but we get a cut to the Old Ways Indians, and he's doing a quick negotiation with them. With a look at all the stuff we've got. There's loads more over there. If you just help us out, like arrows in the sky to these things, as he's trying to persuade them to join the battle at the last moment using persuasion.
Make a roll and we'll see what the dice gods say.
Do I get to re-roll this? I do, don't I?
Because you've got the edge.
I've got the edge, yeah. Marginally better, yeah. 6.
It is a success. That's good. But you take a level of fatigue. Another one, because you've had to run all the way there, run all the way back again, and it's quite tiring. But But they don't agree to join the battle per se, but they're quite happy from their rocky outcrop that they've got to one side to shoot arrows or to summon wind spirits and that kind of thing. So they help you out, but like make it quite clearly not getting involved as far as anybody's onlookers might suggest. They're keeping themselves safe from any backlash should you fail.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Freeway, what are you doing?
I'm gathering around. I'm gathering a few people that seem to be fairly stealthy, and I'm sneaking out one way out of Wyldside and going circling around the troops and trying to get to the people who like pilot the things. I think there will be some people like mostly controlling more the drone groups that are attacking and reloading them with bombs and stuff, and we just make an outside run and sneak past the lines, go to the back and sabotage them. That is
amazing.
Like pulling out some stuff, making like cutting like some pipeline that they use for fuel or whatever, and it will just like when we run away, hopefully there will be a giant explosion behind us.
Yeah, I'd like to have something.
Let's see. Is that stealth?
Yeah, definitely. Go for it.
Nice.
That's a race. It works exactly as you said. A bit like the long-range desert group of old in the North African desert. You run off with fire and explosions behind you. Not as impressive as the massive ghost storm to the other side, but still, we've got the the flames as the fuel trucks and other things for the flying automatons are destroyed. Major Revok, there's still some in the air. What do you do to try and defend Wyldside?
Well, what everyone would do. I weaponize the children. So I go to where the children are hidden with hands full of slingshots and a bucket. And I say, who wants to like chuck loogies at drones? And I hand the slingshots to the children, and I take like the probably the little air holes that we made, and I let them like all the children participate in the battle. What can go?
Or do they? Let's roll some dice and find out.
Do you want battle? Or do you want...
I think it's going to have to be persuade to convince them to take part in a aerial bombardment anti-aircraft campaign.
Help.
They can't imagine that they're so annoyed at being having kept away from all this all the excitement and fun. This is the best thing that's happened in years.
Yes, I'll be asked to every birthday party now.
Okay, yes. So the few remaining drones are quickly taken down by an army of younger people armed with ectoplasm and slingshots. And with the aerial threat out of the way, we see how well you've actually done as you survey around to see how many people were killed in that fight, how many bombs dropped in the wrong places. Let's make a battle roll and find out. So, Sergeant Stark, do you want to roll your battle? You get +6 to this as well, again, like you did last time.
Okay. Is it the wildcat die I take, or is it the other one?
Yeah, pick your best one.
All right, so it's okay. 9, 15 then.
16,
yeah.
I think, isn't it? Because you're not fatigued.
Oh,
I am
fatigued now because I got fatigued.
Yeah. He was well rested, then went into the breach.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, if it wasn't for the extra help of your friends, you would have lost this round. The automatons, the general knows what he's doing better, or she knows what she's doing better. But you did have all that help, and you've turned things around with a raise, in fact. So the Hellstrom troops go down now to just 1 force token left against your 4. You haven't made... There's a few casualties, but in terms of how the battle's going, you barely noticed. Everything's holding up super well. And it's finally at that point where Santiago throws in all the chips, and this huge hulking iron giant comes stomping out of the smoke and ruins. It's the size of probably a 5-story building or something like that, made of shining ghost steel with the screaming faces of the people whose bodies were burned in the furnaces to forge the metal in the first place. The black oil comes out like the screaming of souls, and there's vents of steam suddenly scald people around and clear a path for it as it happily tracks through the electric fence, dragging the bits of wire behind it, and stands glorious above you. And not only that, something that perhaps Brother Julius has seen before, perhaps not, but the leader of the Doombringers, he cannot be destroyed. You killed him, but he's now reconstituting his atoms because he has that great control over the atomic energy. So in the center of Wyldside, as everybody's gazing that way, what looks at first like a dust whirl or something like that transforms itself into the Doombringer you thought you'd killed, and his eyes glow green with hatred, envy, and malice as he smiles to himself as people aren't really paying attention and wonders what harm he can wreak in that small moment. So, Sergeant Stark, what are you doing in this hour of the battle?
So during this hour of the battle, Sergeant Stark is trying to keep his men calm as the big automaton gets closer and closer, and as it rips through the electric fence, he said, as it stumbles across the trenches filled with whatever that nightmarish fuel was from the station, he just kind of shouts, "No!" And they all kind of leap up and start firing. They're throwing potentially like petrol bombs, that kind of thing, or something to try and light the fuel, and hopefully it will catch fire. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, it might be good, or it might just mean there's a flaming robot coming at us. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's what we attempt to do this round.
Excellent. Do you want to make a roll for that?
Yeah. So I guess is that fighting again? We're throwing petrol bombs, I guess. Or
It's I guess we'll go with athletics
okay,
because that's the default throwing skill.
Oh dear.
Have a
You could
Benny?
spend a penny if you wanted.
It's about. I'll spend a penny and try and re-roll that. Oh, that's even worse. I think maybe the burning robot is not fortuitous for us.
No, I don't think it is either.
So hiding in a
yes.
foxhole as everything's on fire around me, like, oh my god.
Right. This is potentially very bad rule. Oh, it's not too bad for you. It could have been fatal, but it's not quite. You're going to take 2 wounds.
Ooh.
As the circle ring of fire does indeed surround Wyldside now. So there's in the flickering flames are surrounding everything. Some of the cars have still got fuel in them that are part of your barricade start to go off, sending vehicles and motorbikes and things flying in different directions. And it's actually one of your nearby men who's trying to throw a petrol bomb. It just slips out of his hand and smashes back in your face, and you find yourself on fire from him. And he then runs off fleeing. And it's then where you see the army jacket he's wearing and the corporal stripes on his arm as he runs away from you. And you lose him as you kind of put out the fire on your own face.
So I'm lying there with dirty eyes. I start seeing the silhouettes of people who have served me in the past. And stuff.
Yeah.
Roger, is that you?
So, Brother Julius, things have taken a turn for the worse. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I will, seeing the returned Doombringer, I reach out and channel the energies of the Ghost Storm to finally send him to his doom using faith. I've got 2 levels of fatigue now, but it feels like we might still win this round, so I'm not going to take a rest. I'm still like addled from all the peyote that I had to take as a peace offering. They gave me some of their stuff too, so I'm not quite with it. That was the deal. So yeah, I'm going to try and use faith to deal with this Doombringer once and for all.
Sounds good.
I'm going to spend a penny to reroll that. That'll do. 17.
So what does it look like when he's dealt with? I guess that's the question.
I think I like draw the power of the Ghost Storm out and say just a line of like tortured Ghost Storm souls just fire out like halfway through Wyldside, like this burning wreck, and then pivot off the wing mirror of a car and just fire straight at him, and he's screaming as his soul is finally burnt, and I just go, "See, heretic, I told you I was right. I told you I was right. You'll never win."
And he calls out in anguish as he's literally atomized. Wonderful stuff. Freeway, what do you do?
While I was doing this run for the pilots and the fuel lines, I realized that there was one like giant armored trolley or truck that was standing in the back to transport troops and ammunition and whatever. And I think it also has like it's like this two-part thing where you have like on the back you also have like another trolley which is loaded completely full with fuel. And I didn't explode that, so I'm trying to sneak into the camp and take that vehicle, steal it, and ram it like through all the people from the back, fully into that burning autonomous robot. And just before I reach it, like put like a stone on the pedal and jump out and roll away to hopefully crash into him and nuke him. And I was thinking that it would be thievery to steal the thing.
Thievery to steal the fuel truck. Sure, why not? Because there's no keys. You pull down the sun visor and the keys don't fall out. Oh, I've got to hotwire it. So yeah, make a thievery roll to see if you can do that.
Well,
that's a raise.
Yeah.
Excellent. So yeah, everything happens as you described. There's a cheer at first as a huge ball of flame from the spook juice that goes up, and the screams of all the released souls when that happens. And then as the cloud clears, you see that the automaton, although gone, is now like a reverse transformer, and that it's split into 5 different smaller robots about 2 stories high. So you blasted it apart, and it's not quite as powerful, but there are still lots of them that are just not going to stop. Are going to keep killing people until you actually like destroy all of it. So, Major Revok, what can you do to help?
I think I had another plan that now they're split in 5 is not a plan that I can do.
They can join together again if it helps you.
While the fire is raging, because there's one organic fleshy controller, right? And he's
it's got a fleshy brain inside it.
Yes, and it wants to stop that fire. But you have to remember that there is a fire. So what I do is while he's disassembling himself, I wipe his mind. I wipe the last 5 minutes of whatever happened, and he wakes up disjointed. Where am I? Where are all my parts? What do I smell? What is happening? So he's completely disoriented while he's trying to figure out what happened in the past 5 or past 10 minutes.
Sounds good. Let's see if you got the dice to back it up.
I have the Benny to back it up. No, I don't. No. I have a 5.
5's a success. I've got you one.
Yay.
So you're going to take a level of fatigue.
Okay, I am.
As it's a disassociated brain that's been plugged into a machine, so it's quite taxing for you. But you do manage to wipe its memory banks for the last few minutes. So you're going to get +5 to your roll, John, for your battle.
Okay.
So this is to basically stamp out the remainder of Hellstrom forces.
Oh dear. Can I use a Benny, my last Benny, to re-roll that?
I think you should.
I think I should with that. Oh, that's better. It's a 6 plus, how much did you say, a 5?
Yep, so you get 11.
11.
My highest was 9, so it's just a regular success rather than a raise this time. But fortunately, there's only 1 token left, so it's definitely going to finish off the rest of the Hellstrom creatures and automatons. But with just a regular success, I think you guys take some casualties as well. There's no point in tracking points, if you'll excuse the pun. So you do manage to destroy what's left of the automaton army, but there's some people die along the way. Perhaps you see another guy in the uniform thinking, there he is, Jonesy. Jonesy made it through. I knew he'd just as the robot falls over and crushes him beneath. Perhaps just his little hands sticking out.
All the casualties seem to be localized around Sergeant Stark's men.
It's weird how this keeps happening. It definitely can't be your fault. So Santiago and what's left of their forces and support troops retreat back to the Hellstrom facility to spend another couple of years rebuilding themselves, ready for the next foray out. But for now, Wyldside saved. The mercs didn't betray. The Raven stayed out of the way, and everything else seems fine. There's victory laps being done by the Black Widows and the +4s in the golf carts as they swing around. You're not sure if they're chasing each other. In fact, it's hard to tell, but they're having a good old time. And just to finish it off, then there's obviously great celebrations. Everybody recognizes you all as the heroes, and Sergeant Stark particularly, even though he's battered and wounded, he's held up and carried on people's shoulders for everybody to see. So shall we just have a little vignette in the same order of what happens to your character, either immediately after or maybe in an hour or a day or a week, whatever you want to do. Let's just have a little finishing scene for each character, starting with Sergeant Stark.
So are we cutting to like later now? What happens to him later
If
on?
you want to be, yeah, whenever you want.
I think Sergeant Stark's again he's quite shocked that there's actually been some survivors this time. So he would normally be walking off into the desert, kind of rogue warrior style, on his own at this point. But he's recovering well, and he's actually for the first time in his life, he's thinking about maybe he might have some comrades. So he's kind of like interested to hang around this time, whereas yeah, rather than the disappearing into their eyes, he's gonna stay behind, and he's gonna see what everybody else is doing. You know, maybe they'll die in the next encounter. I don't know, but you know, for this time though, he's gonna hang around with them, I think. But he's gonna spend most of his time recovering and drunk.
Excellent. This is one of those TV shows where it's like to be continued, because there's obviously a second episode at the end of the season. That's why they're not dead yet. Clearly, that must be it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So we leave the drunk Sergeant Stark there. Brother Julius, what does life look like for him?
So this is immediately after, and there's a makeshift field hospital and an old bus where the few wounded we have that were like some distance from Stark and so survived are being treated by Brother Julius. He's going like ministering to them, and some of them are unconscious, so he's just like dabbing their foreheads and stuff. And my child, oh bless you. And one who's been really, really early goes to check, and he really just hopes that he's okay. He puts a damp cloth on the forehead, and the soldier's eyes. This was a soldier who's very near to where the ghost storm came through. Soldier's eyes open, glowing bright green. He says, "Ah, my child, welcome to the church," as he gets a new recruit.
Wonderful stuff. How's Freeway handle things?
Oh, Freeway, first of all, will join the victory laps, but running, because he has no clue how to drive anything. So he will run around Wyldside until he's completely exhausted, and then at a certain point just jump on one of the bikes of the Black Widows and like stands on the bike. And I think they just take him with them. So he will end up like being on a how do you call these things? Like on the side of the bicycle?
Sidecar.
Sidecar things, and he will always sit in a sidecar and like just chop people from the sidecar in battles to come.
Excellent. And I'm sure they managed to find a black bear or something so that you can match with the color scheme with your furry underpants as well. Match everybody else's black clothing. Excellent stuff. And last but not least, we have Major Revok. What happens to you?
Well, Major Revok has realized his true calling, working with children. So he's training the children to be other psychers. So you see a whole row of 10 children like and like trying to like crash things with their mind. And sometimes the tomato explodes, and then like he cheers the child and gives him a gold star. And the 10-year-olds are fucking terrifying here, like absolute monsters at the moment. He's so proud.
Excellent. And as Revok goes to sleep in his water tower with a job well done, and the drone pans away from Wyldside, you can hear the nighttime screams of the children that keep everybody awake, matching the ghost stories to one side. And that brings our episode to a close. Thanks very much for playing. Well done, everybody. Great performances and a good result to the show. Thanks, everybody, for watching at home. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. Comment down below. What do you think of Savage Worlds? Have you played this sort of setting? Is there more Savage Worlds you'd like to see? And if so, what flavour? Maybe we can make it happen for you. Thanks, everyone. Don't forget to check out What Would the Smart Party Do? Don't forget to check the Burn After Running blog. Don't forget to check Olga's game. There's lots of things there. We'll put some links in the show notes. And we'll see you next time on Unconventional GMs.